Field to hear you. Thank you, Catherine. And after experiencing the second driest spring in the last 2 decades, the calls for rain have finally been answered. It's been a rainy week across the 2 Virginias, as Catherine's been saying, with the concern for flash flooding almost every day this week. But even with all the rain we have received, the United States Geological Survey still expanded the abnormally dry conditions to more portions of the 2 Virginias on Thursday. And as meteorologist Brandon Lawson explains, all this rain at once could become an issue for some.
We are just 11 days into June, and spots like Beckley have already received more rain than they saw for the entire month of May.
A lot of the showers and thunderstorms that we've seen, where they have passed across the area, they've dropped very heavy rainfall.
This was the scene Wednesday in Mercer County. The rainfall coming down so hard, flash flooding occurred.
It's been 7 years that I've lived here. I've never seen it up this high.
We've seen all this rain this week, but we're actually still seeing those abnormally dry conditions at span. Why is that?
The coordination for the drought monitor begins early in the week on Monday, and by Tuesday, we've pretty much wrapped up our coordination. So looking at this past week, a lot of the rain that we've experienced fell after that coordination period ended.
For farmers, they need normal weather patterns for a successful season. Extreme weather like this is a setback for them.
There can be too little rain in a drought situation where the grass doesn't grow, and there can be too much rain on the farm, especially if it's flooding. It can cause erosion and loss of the topsoil and the minerals and the nutrients that we need for the grass to grow.
How important are those nutrients to the cattle?
Certain animals need more nutrients than others. For example, if you're feeding young calves that will be used for slaughter, their nutrient requirement is much higher than the older cows that are just being maintained through the winter.
And while this week's rainfall will likely bring much needed relief from the drier conditions, a lot of data has to be analyzed.
The drought monitor actually takes into account the water level in rivers and creeks. It takes into account soil moisture. It takes into account the growing conditions of crops, whether growth of those crops are average for what is expected for that time of year.
Here for you, meteorologist Brandon Lawson, WVBA News.